Hello, friends. Take off the glasses so we don't get distracted. But I'm here to talk today about something I heard one of my clients mention in a recent call we had, which was since I haven't achieved it, I don't really feel like I'm getting anywhere with a thing that I've set out for. So this is kind of something we always encounter in business or even in life when we're working towards the thing that we really want and it doesn't feel like it's coming fast enough. And we begin to wonder, like, is this really coming to pass? Am I doing something wrong? What could I be doing instead? What's really happening with all of this? And I hear this theme come up consistently when I'm working with my clients. So I thought this would be helpful for you. So what I want to start with, number one, while you may not entirely want to hear it, I just want to be very clear. You are making progress toward the thing that you want. It may not always feel like it. It may not seem like you're moving as fast as you want. It may seem like there's obstacles in the way, but you're always making progress. Now the question is, how can we make progress with greater ease so that we're not feeling like the stop and go thing or feeling sort of the disheartening feeling of like not quite getting what we want when we want it with speed, especially when we're talking about business. We really are doing our business because we need money or want to make a difference in the world. So what's going on? Usually what we really want to focus on at this point in time is to get what you want with greater ease is you really focus on alignment. And alignment comes down to three things. Alignment has to start with and be very clearly within you knowing what you want. So you've got to get really, really clear about wanting what you want and getting solid about that. I find as a spiritual person or somebody who's very empathic or who's trying to help others, we often have a very hard time admitting to ourselves exactly what we want and how we want it so that we give it to ourselves. So start there if you feel like things aren't moving quickly. The second thing you want to pay attention to is your belief. Do you believe you can have what you want? Now, it's possible to shift your beliefs and we can change them, but you need to take a look at that. Do you really believe you can have what you want? You can have anything that you want. There are no restrictions on wanting and getting what you want. So just remember that if you feel a tug there, then we need to do some work around that, right? Look to your resources and look at where your beliefs are held up in terms of getting what you want. And then the third thing that I find is very important to moving you forward is really you need to get out of your own way to get into alignment. So stopping the habits, both physical habits and thought habits that keep you in the old reality. So whatever you can do to change up your behaviors and your thought patterns around the thing you want, the better off you'll be. And it's going to keep you in alignment. Now that's all really lovely to say, but what's actually going on underneath it all that's kind of keeping things not flowing like you want them to flow? And because I know I'm speaking to spiritual people and people who really focus on their energy, let's go back to energy, why don't we? When you want something, you're creating it in the energy. It is by default happening. And so every time you've wanted that thing, it is created for you in greater and greater amazingness, and it's waiting for you to get out of your own way. So that means it's waiting for you to get into alignment, in total alignment, right? Or better alignment than you've got right now. What we tend to do when we're going through this is we tend to be human and see that the reality around us doesn't have exactly what we want the way we want it. And so we lean into the belief of not having, when in truth we already have it and have to begin moving towards the perspective of having. So for women, I will remind you that when we conceive of a child, we have a baby actually coming, we don't see the child. In many instances, for many months, there's really no sign there's a child coming, but we already know it's happening. And so we change our behaviors and our habits and our thoughts. We start training differently, we start eating differently, we learn different things. So a lot of that is a good example for us when we're trying to do something within our business. So I leave you with this thought. If you are having some challenges and you don't feel like you're achieving what you most want, and something happens to make you feel like this isn't working, and the thought that comes up for you is, what am I doing wrong? That is the fastest way to derail yourself on your journey. So maybe you've got your wants pretty solid. Maybe you've got your belief systems pretty straight in, and maybe you are working with your habits really well. But if on your journey you catch yourself at any time really stopping and saying, what am I doing wrong? That is probably the most detrimental thing you could do. So do whatever you can to shift that thought process. There is nothing that you're doing wrong. Probably something about alignment is off, and usually that's our habits and behaviors. So I hope this was helpful to you. I'll be back on Thursday with another one. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'd love to answer them. Take care, you all. We'll see ya.